Is this thing on? I don't know if my microphone is working. I haven't used it in a long time. This is a little test video. And if you can hear my voice, then I will leave this in the video. What setting is it on? Can y'all see? What setting is this? I think it's the normal setting. Okie dokie, I hope you can hear me. I'm going to stop this video and then listen, and then I'll be back. Okay, I listened back and it sounded fine, so I'm just gonna keep going. Hi. Do you remember me? I've been putting off filming for so long, and the more time that went by, the more I was like, I need to do it. And I just didn't know what to say, because I just feel awkward, because I feel bad, you know. So I'm ripping off the band-aid now. And I'm going to give myself something to do. A little task to break the ice. So I'm kind of nervous right now. Are you nervous? I'm a little nervous. Am I making you nervous? You're making me nervous. Anyway, here's some Japanese road signs. Because guess what? I'm driving. I guess that's the first big happening that has happened. I bought a car. I do not yet have a Japanese license, but I do have a car, and I can't drive it yet. But it's not actually that. It's not that bad. Let me explain. Do you like my rings? I have a lovely ring stack today. This one's a heart. And sometimes I wear the heart pointing outwards. And sometimes I wear the heart pointing towards me. But today, I'll have the heart pointing towards you. Love you. Okay. I don't know what I was saying. Japanese road signs. Right, so I bought a car. And I'll tell you what I do have is an international driving permit. And an international driving permit will let you drive in a lot of countries around the world. Let's look it up. I like being correct with the information I tell you, so I have my iPad here. My iPad, not my laptop, and that's another story that I will get into. It's upside down. What countries? Hello, it's my. Okay. Software update. No, thank you. Okay. So our question is, what countries allow you to drive with an international permit? Okay, let's see what the internet says. Oh my god. Okay, so this is if you're an American. I know it's not. Okay, love this. This is, according to the International Drivers Association. I guess this is like the United Nations for driver's licenses. Probably not at all, but my neighbors just got home. I'll tell you about my neighbors later. Okay, hello. I just want to list, with one IDP, you can drive in multiple destinations worldwide, according to this. general, you will notice it's quiet. Isn't it so quiet? That's one of the good things about living in the middle of nowhere. The middle of freaking nowhere. Because I lived in Nagoya, a major city, for the past 2 years, before 6 months ago when I moved. What a cool flag. Look at this flag. I'm super zooming in on, there's a list of countries that you can drive. Look at this flag. Isn't that neat? I've literally never seen that. Seychelles. Seychelles, it's in Africa. I don't know where that is. Let's find out. Add it to the list. I'm gonna keep on track here because I could just get really off track if I let myself. Hold on now. We're finding out where we can drive with an international driver permit. Oh my god, really? Wow. Okay, so these are all the countries. There's like too many for me to read all of them, but these are all the countries that you can drive in Africa with an international driver's permit. These are the countries you can drive in Asia with an international driver's permit. And in Europe, we have all of these. Really? That's crazy. Way crazy. So I'm gonna search, what's a good country? What's a country that you want me to search? Where do we want to go? That's such a good question. Where do we want to go? I want to go to trying to think of something far away, lesser known. There's a country in West Africa that I was just reading the Wikipedia page about because I had never heard of it before. And the name used to be something different. The name used to be like Upper Voltaire or something like that. And then they changed the name because it had a I'm sorry, I can't, okay, when I have to pronounce a word in French, I get nervous because I don't speak French at all, like I never learned or anything. A coup d'etat. They had a coup d'etat. They had a coup. They overthrew the government in the 80s, I think, and they renamed the name to mean something in the language of the native people, indigenous who lived there before France colonized and all that. So they also speak French, but now the national language is their own language, which I don't know, and I don't know the name of the country. That's gonna bother me. Let me Google it. Okay, countries in West Africa. It's like 2 words. It's 2 words. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. Burkinafaso. Burkina Faso. Okay, and now the reason why I was talking about Burkina Faso is that we're going to see if we can drive there with an international driver's permit. Okay, let's see. Burkina Faso. No way! Oh my god, look, accepted. For up to 3 years. For up to 3 years, you can drive in Burkina Faso with an international driver's permit. Better than Japan. So let me get on to why I was bringing this up in the first place. Is that I have an international driver's permit, but it's only valid for 1 year. And I came with it on my new visa from August, and my international driver's permit The start date was in September, so I only have until September 2025 to get an actual Japanese driver's license, and then my international permit will be no good. So to get myself, look at this crumb. I think it's from my bagel. I had a really good bagel this morning. Asiago cheese. To get myself to get on the ball, as they say, on the stick, as they say. What does that mean? On the stick, on the ball. To get myself in third gear, I bought a car because that will force me to get my Japanese driver's license, because once my IDP, International Driver's Permit, is gone, that's a whole car I just spent my money on for no reason. So I'm learning Japanese road signs. Moral of the story. So legally, yes, I can drive now until September, but I'm in the process of getting my Japanese driver's license. I'm in the process. And you have to take two tests. So you need to take the written test, and you need to know these signs, and a couple other things for sure you need to know. And you also have to do the practical driving test, and that's the hard one. They're very strict. And I heard most people don't pass it the first time, but I hope to prove them wrong. Yeah. But the other reason why I can't drive right now is not because I don't have a license, because I can drive with the permit, but I don't have insurance yet, and I cannot drive without insurance. Now, why don't you have insurance, you might be asking? Well, in order to get insurance, I need the car to be in my name. And why isn't the car in my name, you might be asking? Well, for the car to be in your name, you need your own license plate. That is different from the license plate of the previous owner. Well, why don't you have that, you might be asking? Well, for that, I have to get it registered in my name. And why don't you have it registered in your name, you might be asking? Well, for that, I have to stamp my hanko, which is what is a hanko? It's like a personal stamp that is equivalent to like a signature that we would use in the West. In Japan, people don't sign their name, they use a stamp. And it's engraved with the kanji, or the symbols of their family name usually. So why don't you have a hanko, you might be asking? I do have one, and it was custom made by a teacher who I'm very grateful for, who paid for it as a welcome gift. When I started my new job, he made it for me with the kanji that match my name. It's a very beautiful name. Anyway, well, then what's the problem, you might be asking, if you have that hanko stamp? Well, in order for them to accept my hanko stamp, to get it registered, the car registered in my name, I need a certificate that registers my hanko stamp, that proves that it's mine. Okay? Which is crazy to me, because that would be like if in the United States we had to have a document that proved that our signature is actually our signature. Well, I guess not, because the fact that your hand is producing it proves that it's yours. But I guess my hanko stamp could be like somebody's stamp that I could physically steal and then like forge their signature. That's interesting. Okay, I get it. That is a problem, but anyway, so why don't I have this registration for my hanko stamp to be registered to me? That's another great question. I went to the city ward office? No. Whatever, local government office. It's literally right next to my house. I can walk there. I went there to get my hanko stamp registered, and they rejected me. And why did they reject me, you might be asking? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. allegedly, because my honko stamp is in kanji and my legal name doesn't have kanji, she won't, I can't get mad at her, the lady. It's not the lady's fault that was helping me. She's just like following the rules that the boss people tell her. Yeah, so because my legal name, according to my residence card, which is according to my passport, is in English, and my stamp is in kanji in Japanese, they can't register it to my name because it doesn't match my name. And that's like, well, what the heck do you expect me to do? Because honko stamps are in Japanese and kanji. That's the whole purpose of them. So that was really frustrating. And I've been signing documents with my honko stamp up until this point, and they never needed a certificate of registration that proves it's mine. I guess just like getting a car is a very expensive thing. So it's like if you get a house or you get a car, you need to prove that the stamp is yours when you sign the documents. For example, when I signed my lease for this apartment, I didn't need to prove that my stamp was my stamp. I just used it and it was fine. So, what's the solution, you might be asking? I have to register my name legally, change my name, and to put it into Japanese. But they won't accept the kanji. They'll only accept the phonetic spelling in katakana, which is the second. I don't know if they're like ordered. It is another alphabet. So as you may know, you may not know, Japanese has 3 alphabets: hiragana, katakana, kanji. Katakana is the phonetic alphabet, and it's what like foreign words or like foreign people's names or loan words are written in. So like it's the correct way to write my name. But my teacher gave my stamp in kanji because it matches everybody else and because it just like feels really cool. And I really like my kanji because they're unique and they hold meaning. Anyway, so I have to get my name registered in katakana and then get another stamp, honko stamp, made in katakana. So I just registered my name, my full name in katakana. And then she said you can choose. Because the problem is, my name's long. That's not going to fit on a little stamp. Because the stamp is like this big. It's like this big. I can show it to you. It's in my bag. You know, I'm going to show it to you. But, it's in my bag. I'm feeling it. This is it. Okay, it's not in here. This is the little contraption that you can put it in. This is the red ink, because usually you stamp it in red. If you put the little stamp in here and you go, it just makes it really easy and it stamps it perfectly every time. But you can also stamp it like manually, where you dip it in the ink and then stamp it with your hand. But that's harder than it looks. I've messed up a lot, so my teacher gave me this. Okay, it's in this case. But let me finish what I was just saying. What I was just saying was, I got my name registered in katakana, and I can pick one of my names, because I have 3, first, a middle, and a last name. I can pick one to be printed on my new honko stamp. And I picked Elise, Arisu, in katakana. It's 3 letters, Arisu. And my current honko stamp, which is kanji, is also 3 characters, so that's why I picked Elise. And I think it'll be cute to have a little Arisu stamp. So, I'm waiting for that right now. But I should show you when I open it. It's so beautiful, the inside, the embroidery. Do you see this embroidery? It's so pretty. And then it has a little ink cartridge. It's very messy. Try not to touch it. And this is the actual stamp itself. So you dip it in the ink and you go on the paper. But it's not just like that. You have to press it down really hard and then hold it and kind of put sure like on every single angle to really get all of the, because look at all these. Sorry. Look at all the little, you can't even see it because it's covered in ink right now, but the little grooves. There's 3 kanjis kind of squished together. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, my kanji are very beautiful. I love this stamp. I love this stamp. I love it. So I'm really sad that technically this isn't like legal, but I've been using it and I'm gonna keep on using it unless they ask for the stupid document. So basically, I don't have a car. I know I do. I have a car. I can't drive my car because it's not legally registered to my name, because I don't have car insurance, because I don't have, what's the little sign called? I don't have a license plate because I can't get a license plate because the car's not in my name, because I don't have the proper stamp. I do, but they won't accept it, so I have to get a new one and get that registered to my name. So I'm waiting for my new stamp. We ordered it, I think, and once I get that, I bring it to the city office again, and then they will do whatever they do with it. I don't know, x-ray it, I don't know, and then give me my document that says it's mine, and then I can take it to the car dealership or the Bureau of Transportation or whatever and get on with it, and then I can have a new license plate, and then I can get car insurance, and then I can drive. Who knew it would be so difficult? Who knew? Who knew? Yeah. But in the meantime, I'm studying road signs. Do you want to see? Do you want to see? So, what is this one? Let me quiz myself here. This means don't enter because it's a one-way. This means, I don't know what this means. Road closed. This means road closed to everybody. Like if you're on a bike as well. Let me see if that's right. Yes, okay, I was right. So this is, it's a one-way, so don't enter. This is road closed to vehicles. This is road closed to vehicles and bikes and pedestrians. So 1 little X means just cars can't go. 2 lines of full X means nobody can go. This means slow down to a speed that is safe in case you need to stop quickly because there's some kind of danger, usually like construction or something. Or like a weird, well, I don't know, some kind of weird thing happening at the road or going over a bridge or something. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, slow down to 6 speed. Okay, this means parking. Yeah, parking permitted. I don't know what this kanji means. This is a kanji, by the way, if you're not familiar. This is what the speed limit signs look like. It's a red circle and the number is in blue. And if there's a line below the number, it means it's the minimum speed limit, not the maximum. And a lot of times there will not be any speed limit signs, and that means that it defaults to like the default legal speed, which is 60. I think it's 60. 50 or 60. I think it's 60 kilometers per hour. That's another thing that I need to get used to. Is kilometers per hour. And it's slow as heck. Like, even on the highways, the highest speed on the highways is like maybe 80 kilometers per hour, and that's like 40 something. Like 50. Like the max that they'll go on the highways in Japan is like 50 miles per hour. It's so slow. It's so slow. Which is good, I guess. We're safe. We're safe. This means the traffic is gonna go this way, right? Left turn on red permitted. No way. Left turn on red permitted. Okay. Yeah, so as an American, you know, we have right on red. You can turn right on red. So you cannot do that here. Number one, because everything's flip-flopped. You're driving on the left side of the road, so that doesn't work. But then you might think, oh, then can you do left on red? No. 99% of the time, no. Apparently, if there's this sign, you can. Okay, and then same thing as America. Solid yellow line means no passing. Oh, this means no parking. So I get this one and this one confused. With the white background and one red line, it means road closed. But with the blue background and one red line, it means no parking. No parking, but you can stop on the side of the road and put on your hazard lights. And you can stay for like up to 5 minutes. It's either 15 or 5, I don't remember. If you're present at the car. So for example, if you just need to pull over and like make a phone call, or you need to pull over because you're gonna pick somebody up, or I don't know, drop off luggage or boxes or make a delivery, I don't know. And that is really common in Japan. There's always cars on the side of the road with their hazard lights on. Just people are making stops a lot. And it's kind of stressful because then you have to like go around them and the roads are super narrow. So you go over into the other lane and people are just always kind of weaving in and out, and it's a little nerve-wracking. Okay, and I also get this one and this one mixed up. This means no parking anytime ever. Not even for like a short period of time with this one, I think. No stopping, no parking, and waiting anytime. Okay, and this one's for 5 minutes, not 15. I wrote it here, 5 minutes. I'm reading backwards in my phone camera. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a stop sign. So the stop signs are upside down red triangles, and it will have usually in kanji tomare, or just the tomare. Tomare is like, I can't do it backwards. It looks like a little tree growing out of the ground, kind of. It's not a tree though. And then in urban areas, they will also have it in English underneath. It's a stop. Stop. And this means no passing, no overtaking. It's pretty straightforward. This means no U-turn, and this means one-way street. So those are the main signs that I needed to take note of. And I'm gonna get a drink of water now. That I'm kind of like out of practice of speaking to my camera, speaking to my phone, and I was worried that what if my ramble is awkward and I run out of things to say? But it's already been almost 30 minutes, and I didn't realize I was just talking the whole time. So I'm just a natural, what can I say? Just a natural born rambler. Let's see, what else? There's just so many things that I could talk about. Because we haven't seen each other in so long. I'm very sorry. I'm really sorry. There's not like one huge thing in particular that stopped me from filming. Mostly I got busy for like a couple months as I was adjusting to my new job, and then actually I did film in October, and then I never uploaded it. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna film because I already have a video that I need to upload. But then my brain was like, no, that video is from October, why are you gonna upload it now? It's like December. And so I didn't. And then I was like stuck in this loop of I'm not going to film because I need to upload the other video, but I don't want to upload the other video because it's too old and irrelevant now, so I need to film a new one. And then the more time that went by, I got like stressed out and was feeling really guilty. Yeah. that I do have a thing with like procrastinating, with like texting people back, and it was feeling like the same kind of stress and pressure that I feel when I need. Girl, don't tell me I've been muted this whole time. I'm fighting with my microphone because I just listened back, and thank God I wasn't muted. I thought I was muted because this red button, it's not on now because it's not plugged in, the red button started blinking. I already noticed that I was blinking, and that's when it's muted. So I thought it was muted the whole time when I was talking. It wasn't, but I don't think it was working because it sounds like my phone microphone audio. So I'm sorry. Okay, now I just plugged it in. Again. Maybe I do need to get a new microphone because this thing is old. I got this microphone. I'm just gonna talk into it and hope it's working, and if it's not, I'm sorry. It already wasn't working for the whole video, so whatever. I have had this microphone since I got my first microphone. This is the only microphone I've ever had. And I got it at the end of the summer of 2021. I think it was 2021 when I started my channel, like right after I started my channel. And then I got 1,000 subscribers, and then I got a microphone. So this thing's been through it. It's been living with me in different houses, apartments. It traveled across the world with me, so she's been through a lot. I don't know if this is working. I really hope it's working. Put her hat back on. Her wig. Oh no. Okay. What was I talking about? Well, yeah. I vacuumed earlier. I like vacuuming. It's really satisfying to see all the dusties get vacuumed up. For me, it's mostly hair. If you have long hair, then I'm sure you can understand the amount of long hair that's just all over the place. Oh my god. Okay. Probably one of the biggest changes or differences that's taken place since we've last spoken is I have been turning my interests and curiosities into hobbies. I've inserted myself into my interests, and now it's not like this cool thing exists and I'm gazing at it from afar and appreciating it. I'm doing it and I'm becoming part of it, and that's really fun. And I'm more hobbies now, and I'm collecting hobbies. And one of that is tea. And okay, but what led me to the tea hobby is that I bought a really, really beautiful vintage teapot, Japanese teapot that you can brew loose leaf teas in. And it's so beautiful, and it makes me just want to brew tea and drink out of it because I love it. It's sitting over there. I washed it earlier, so it's dry. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But what led me to that is my other greater hobby that led to that interest hobby is like secondhand shopping and like buying old things and like searching at like vintage shops and just seeing what you can find. Because I've always had like a fascination with history and old things and things that have existed longer than I have. And I was like, why don't I actually search for some and start collecting or getting cool things and like was really fun, and I love it. And yesterday I went to 2nd Street. Do you have... Is that an earthquake? Do you hear that? Every time I hear some kind of noises or shaking, I'm scared it's an earthquake. I don't think it is, because the walls aren't shaking. It was just my neighbors doing something, I guess. Yesterday I went to 2nd Street. Do you have 2nd Street? That's what I was gonna ask. I don't know if we have 2nd Street in the United States. I remember seeing it or hearing of it when I was in America, but it's really big in Japan, and it's like a thrift store. I guess it's like the Goodwill of Japan, I would say. But a lot of them, there's different like levels or kinds, and some of them are more like how do you say there's a word for when the people who run the store are curating more like curated selection, which things are going to be more expensive. They're not just like selling everything willy-nilly like a Goodwill might. And that's fun, more expensive, but fun because they have more like rare select items and like more vintage old cool stuff. And some of them only do clothes, and some of them do like houseware goods, instruments, knickknacks, furniture, electronics, everything like a Goodwill would. And some of them, like I said, was only clothes. The one I went to yesterday was only clothes, and it was one of the curated vintagey ones, so things were a little bit more expensive, but there was a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, that was really fun. And one of my other interests, I don't know which one to say next. Okay. Oh, I bought a guitar. I got a guitar from 2nd Street. And that's really exciting. I started playing guitar in high school, and then when I moved to Japan, I didn't take my guitar with me because it's too big. And then my parents sold it. And that made me a little bit upset. But in their defense, they moved. And in the move, they got rid of a whole lot of stuff, and they thought that since I didn't bring it to Japan with me, that I didn't want it. And like, yeah, to be fair, I don't live there anymore, so anything that I left, I did tell them anything that I left. Like, okay, I told my mom, any clothes that I left, feel free to do what you want with them. I don't need them. I said clothes, but she thought I meant everything, so she sold my guitar. So I bought a new one, and it's in the other room. And yeah, and right now, the song that I'm learning to play is one of my favorite songs of all time, Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Do you know Derek and the Dominoes? Do you know Layla? Do you know Eric Clapton, one of the best guitarists of all time ever to live in the history of the world? That's the opening riff. I can play that part. But I can't play like more complicated riffs and solos because it's difficult. And I'm not very good. But it's really fun. Yeah. And going back to my tea hobby, let me go over here and show you my teapot. That's our hat. Can you hear me? I think you can. Okay. Okay. Look at this. Isn't this the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Look at this. Okay. It has like beautiful flowers. Do you see these flowers and the gold painting and Do you see this? This is such a beautiful teapot. And I got it for so cheap. It was such a good find. It was like less than 1,000 yen. 1,000 yen back in the day used to be like $10. 100 yen used to be $1. But the dollar has grown a lot stronger and the yen has grown weaker. And now it's like 60 yen equals $1. So I got this thing for like $6. Yeah, and it has the strainer part as well that you can put in. It's over there drying. And so I've been collecting loose leaf teas, and I will brew a different tea depending on my mood. My favorites are hojicha. Hojicha is roasted green tea. It's taking the leaves of green tea and roasting it, and then it gives it like a richer, kind of a nutty rich flavor. It's really good. I recommend try hojicha roasted green tea. It's so good. And then I have fallen in love with English breakfast tea with milk ever since I went to, guess where I went? I went to Ireland. I went to Ireland and Scotland during my winter break in December, and I absolutely fell in love. I love, oh my god. It was amazing. I love both Ireland and Scotland. I went to the Republic of Ireland, the independent one, and then I went to Scotland, which I guess is part of the UK. So I went to the UK and I went to Ireland. And you can get, like, with breakfast, first of all, I tried the whole like full English breakfast, or in Ireland they call it the full Irish breakfast, in Scotland they call it the full Scottish breakfast. The base is basically all the base is all the same. What do you have? Let me see. You have your eggs, you have your bacon or ham, but the bacon is not like American bacon. It's like thicker and bigger. And you have your sausage, which is different from the sausage in America. And you have your grilled tomatoes and grilled mushrooms, and your beans, baked beans, barbecue beans, I don't know what you call them. You have your toast, and you have your, what else do you have? Something else I'm missing. Well, in Ireland and Scotland, they give you, the pudding, the black pudding. I don't like the pudding, I'm sorry. It's not pudding like chocolate pudding. It's like a blood pudding. Like, it's kind of gross. I'm sorry. They take the waste of the animal, like, the stomach or the organs or the blood, and they make a pudding out of it. It looks like a little hash brown, but it's not a hash brown. I didn't like it, I'm sorry. And in Scotland, they might also give you haggis, just something similar, made of sheep's stomach, I think. I tried it, I didn't love it, I'm sorry. But I do love the rest of the English breakfast. Oh, the potato, what do they call it? A croquet? No, what do they call it? It's like a little potato pancake, like a little latke, but it's not. A scone, a potato scone. I love potato scone. The potato scone was so good. And with the full English or Irish or Scottish breakfast, whatever, they change the name depending on where you are. You can also have a tea, a pot of tea. They bring it in a pot, and they bring your little thing of milk that you pour. And I love it so much, and they got me onto tea, like drinking black tea. I've never been a black tea drinker because I've always been a coffee addict, super into coffee, but I found myself drinking black tea now throughout the daytime instead of coffee. I still have my coffee in the morning, but in the day I will have black tea, English breakfast tea with milk. And I bought, let me tell you, hold on, wait, don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you some of my favorite items from my tea collection. I'm very excited about this. guess I'll show you this one first. So this one I bought it in Japan from an international grocery store. And I got it because this is what I had in the hotel rooms in Ireland when I was in Dublin. They had a bunch of these tea bags in the room that you could make, and it was really good. I don't know, I think it's English, but they had it in Ireland. Or is this Irish? I don't know. What does it say? The brand is PG Tips since 1930. And it says, new PG Tips original is expertly crafted by our master blenders using the finest and freshest tea leaves plucked at altitude in tea gardens on the equator. This new blend gives our most refreshing, flavorful, and full-bodied taste yet, with a new tea bag shape to deliver a perfect flavor release. Okay, but where is it from? Are we English? What are we? Refreshing, flavorful, and full-bodied taste. Original PG Tips, 40 bags. Fresh, brewing fresh perspectives since 1930. But where are you from? Hello? Okay. Oh, it says UK. 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 Because this is a imported item, usually the Japanese, it's a sticker with information in Japanese because it's whatever, but usually the Japanese sticker will say what country it's from because it was imported. What does it say? This says you can't see it, the name of the country of origin. This name, country, and this is like origin, and this says in katakana Igirisu. Igirisu means England, so it's from England. That's interesting. So the hotel that I stayed at in Dublin was serving English tea. However, I bought this online, and it took a little while to arrive because it came from across the pond. Barry's tea. And this is loose leaf. So this is not loose leaf. It has tea bags. And this is loose leaf, so I make it in my pot. So I ordered this online after I got my teapot. And this one is from Ireland. Expertly blended in Ireland since 1901, and this is the best black tea that I have ever had. Not that I know a lot about black tea because I've just been into black tea since December, so I really don't know anything about what I'm talking about. But this is Barry's Tea Loose Leaf Gold Blend, and I love. It's so good. I think I'm gonna make a pot when I finish filming this video, but I have to go to the grocery store and I don't want to go to the grocery store because I can't drive there. I have to ride my bike or walk because I can't drive because I don't have my freaking insurance because of blah 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 blah, you know. But anyway, I want to ask if you're still awake and still watching and still here, howdy, hello, thank you for joining me. But I want to ask my English, Irish, Scottish viewers, what's your favorite tea? What do you think of the two that I have here? Berries or PG Tips? Which one do you like better, or is there a different one that I should try? I also have a different one that they sell in Japan. In grocery stores. You don't need to go to a special store or order it online. You can just get it at the normal grocery store. Sorry. I'm gonna show you. And I don't know if it's actually from England or if it's Japan's black tea. Let me show you. Oh, it's Twinings. We have Twinings in America, so I don't know how authentic or whatever this is. But Twinings is cheaper here. And yeah, where is Twinings from? Let's see. So, Twinings of London. It says Twinings of London, so apparently this is English. Do y'all like Twinings? Do the locals drink this in London? That's what I want to know. So if you are a tea connoisseur, let me know. Let me know what I should be drinking. Oh no. The race cars are out. This happens every once in a while. And it must be the same person because there's not enough people in this town to have multiple loud racing cars. In the evening time, sometimes I'll hear a meow, meow, meow. And I think it's the same person. Okay, well, I think this video has gone on long enough, and I could keep going on and on, but I should just film another video so that I have more videos to upload for you all. I didn't even get into everything that I want to get into. I have so many things to talk about, so stay tuned. But I won't make any promises because that's when I put pressure on myself, and that makes me like avoid doing the things that I need to do. So it's okay, right? Everything's okay. I hope so. I hope so. My rings. Oh no, I hear the car again. Okay. What else? There's so many things. I'm going to briefly summarize the other things that I want to talk about real quick. Okay. My job, which takes up most of my time these days. In case you haven't heard, I am a part of the JET program, the JET program, and I'm an assistant English teacher at a public high school in Japan. Oh goodness. Oh, I spilled tea on my, not like liquid tea, but the tea dusties, oh no. Yeah, so I need to talk about my job. In general, I will tell you, it's good. I adjusted and got used to, and I absolutely love my students. Like, I love my students so much. Right now is in between school years, so the school year in Japan ends in February and restarts in April, so the month of March is their spring break, and I guess that would be equivalent to summer vacation in America. So I had to say bye-bye to a lot of students. I teach second year. There's 3 grades, first, second, third, and then they graduate. And I teach mostly second year and a little bit of first year, so I had to say bye to my second year students because I won't teach them next year. That was really sad. And then other things I talked about my car, my guitar, my tea. Oh, movies. I have to talk about movies. Suddenly I'm like into film. I've never been a movie person, but I've become a movie person, and I downloaded a Letterboxd. Do you all have Letterboxd? Do you have Letterboxd? It's like Goodreads for movies. Do you have Goodreads? Basically, you can like log every movie that you watch and give a little rating and a summary, and you can keep track, and you can also follow your friends. I'm making sure my earring is still in my ear. This one is okay. This one is half an earring. There's no back to it. I broke it in half. So sometimes it falls out. I also have this one, and I have this one over here as well. This is not a piercing, it's just a cuff. I still have this one up here, my cartilage up here. But it's just not in there right now. Yeah, so I've talked about movies, and I think I'll have like a whole video dedicated to talking about movies and film and stuff, and asking for your recommendations or opinions. I will tell you, I am trying to watch all of Christopher Nolan's movies because he's so like famous and well, how would you describe him? He's well somethinged. He's well known. He's highly awarded. He's famous. He's iconic. Anyway, I think that's one of the first names of like directors that comes to mind when you think of like famous movie directors or producers, whoever, whatever, writers. So I feel like that's one of the firsts that I should check off my list so I can kind of like enter the conversation of film. I need to watch all the famous ones and the greats. I'm also really into old movies and stuff. I grew up watching like old films and TV shows from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, because my mom is really into like Alfred Hitchcock films and old stuff. So I have a background in really old stuff, but once it gets to like the 70s, 70s onward to current day, like I've never even seen Harry Potter. Sorry. So I haven't seen any of the Star Wars, any Marvel, any Harry Potter, any like current day movies. I haven't seen them. So that's what I'm getting into, and it's really fun and exciting, and it's unlocking like a whole level of understanding with like allusions to, or like motifs of, or you know, callbacks to in pop culture, in songs or books or the news articles or just people talking. There's so many references, that's the word I've been searching for, references that I haven't gotten because I'm just totally unaware of these famous pop culture things because I don't watch movies, and I'm already like understanding and recognizing these references of movies that I've seen recently, and it adds a whole level of like, oh my god, wow, I understand, and I like being in the know. Like, I also watched The Godfather, the first one from 1972 with Marlon Brando, Al Pacino. I loved it. I love it so much. I've heard that the second one is even better than the first, and I need to watch the second one, but I'm not allowed to watch it alone because I watched the first one with my boyfriend, and I promised that I'd wait to watch the second one with him. So we're gonna watch the second one, and I loved it. The acting was phenomenal. Yeah, I think Marlon Brando is one of the best actors of all time. But I need to watch more movies. I need to watch A Streetcar Named Desire. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going on to, this is supposed to be a brief summary of things that I need to talk about more. Okay. Movies, tea, vintage shopping, thrifting stuff, driving, school, my work, my job. I'm music. Music is probably my favorite thing in the whole world. That's nothing new though. I'm really into like 70s rock lately. Yeah. The Rolling Stones I never got into until recently. And now I'm getting into the Stones. Okay. What else? Baking and cooking. That's a really new one. In 2025, I set one of my goals to learn how to cook. I've never been a cook. Never claimed to be, never tried to be. I'm just not a good cook. Like, notoriously, growing up, my mom would ask me to help out in the kitchen, and I would be like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I would just sit there to avoid having to help cooking, so I just hated it. But now that I live alone, and I want to be a mom in the future, so I want to be able to cook for my kids. So I'm teaching myself, and I really like it. It's so satisfying and exciting to eat something delicious that you made, that you put the work into. It makes it even better. So that's an unexpected hobby that I've gained, and I bought an oven, which is a big deal because in Japan they don't have like ovens, so you have to get the convection oven to sit on top of the counter because the kitchens just don't have ovens. They don't do a lot of baking here. And I've been having fun with my oven. been good, all in all. A lot of like indulging in my curiosities and my interests, and life is really fun when you have hobbies. So I recommend to explore what tickles your fancy. Yeah. And there's infinite things. Books as well. It's another one. Oh my god, okay, and then sorry, the last one that I'm also really into lately is art. I went to a museum in Kanazawa. Kanazawa is in the north middle part of Japan, and there's a really famous modern art museum. And I could just spend all day staring at a painting. And then I started researching like old classic pieces, like the famous dudes, Monet. Monet's probably one of my favorites. I really like, I think, probably Impressionist and Romanticism in terms of paintings, like somewhere right in the middle. So like late 1800s. So like early Monet, and late, all of Monet. Like the water lilies, I want to see it in person so bad. I need to go to Paris. And who else? What's his name? John Martin? Is it John Martin? I think. Something Martin. I don't know. I think he's English. He was a romantic painter. And I saw one of his paintings, and the immense detail was like overwhelming. Like you could spend 10 minutes staring at all the little details and parts of the painting, and you still wouldn't take it all in because there's so much incredible. Yeah. And my favorite one was he painted a lot of scenes from mythology or like biblical stuff. It's the thing, I don't know anything about the Bible, but when the writing is on the wall, which is another phrase that I never knew the meaning. It's a biblical allusion. I didn't know that. There's a story in the Bible where some ruler sees like a hand writing in gold on the wall the words, and it was like foreseeing that his empire would fall, and it did. And that's why the writing on the wall became a phrase, which means like the signs that pointed to the obvious of what will happen. Anyway, this painter painted the scene of the writing on the wall, and I forget the name. Shooty. But it's my favorite. I have to show you. I'm sorry, this video is going to be over an hour long, but you know what? I haven't uploaded in months and months, so it will be a long one. It's way overdue. It's one of my favorite paintings ever. Gosh, what is it called? The something of something. The writings on the wall. Meaning. Okay, so the writing on the wall means, it's a phrase of writing that means there are clear signs that something unpleasant or unwelcome is going to happen. As I said, glad I had that right. Oh, okay, it's an idiom from the book of Daniel, based on the story of Belshazzar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Belshazzar, Belshazzar. And Belshazzar's feast. Okay, now we're gonna Google Belshazzar's feast. But do you see what I mean when you become more knowledgeable about like things like art and music and movies and important pieces of culture over time, how you can greater understand the things of today? Because so many things that we have now, everything comes from what was before us. And if you don't study those old things, how can you understand now? And I just got into like learning about art and stuff. And after I saw this painting called Belshazzar's Feast, and I saw the scene from the Bible, and I learned about that's where the writing on the wall, the phrase came from. And now I understand, oh, that's what it means. And it just kind of paints a fuller picture for you and makes you appreciate it more. Belshazzar's Feast by John Martin. Oh, yes, this is it. Okay, Belshazzar's Feast by John Martin. You can't appreciate it. This picture doesn't show it in enough detail. But you need to like triple zoom in and triple zoom in to appreciate the detail. But basically, I love it. I love it. Like if you zoom in way in the background, he painted like the whole other, like this little part right here could be a whole painting. The quality is really bad on my iPad. But then you zoom out and it's like a huge painting. Oh, I hope there was nothing bad there. Okay, it showed my recent history tabs. I was looking at cars, because I bought a car. I was looking at the weather forecast of California. I was looking at Belshazzar's Feast by John Martin. I was looking at countries in West Africa and the painting itself. Okay, anyway, I guess that's it. I'm also into fashion. I've always been a fan of fashion, but I haven't considered myself a fashionable person with my own clothes, but I would like to be. And I've always been on the fence about, is somebody who indulges in their appearance, is that a waste of time? Because how could it possibly be for yourself when your appearance is seen by everyone around you? Like clearly you're doing it for others. That's what I believed for a while, and I was like, I don't care what I wear, I'm just gonna wear what's comfortable. But I'm totally on the other side now, and I think that what you wear and how you express yourself can be linked like this, and it's really about choice and having the power to present how you want to present. And like matching how you feel. I think I'm just saying a lot of random words, and I hope it's coming through to somebody. But for example, like I took the time and effort to put this jewelry, shiny things on, and I like it, and it makes me feel, I don't know how it makes me feel. I feel like a pirate, kind of. And I like that. I want to be a pirates are cool. Vampires and pirates are so cool. And I kind of like that vibe. And just the idea of like decorating yourself is something that people have done ever since people existed, right? Like if you look back, way back thousands of years ago, and across different cultures all over the world, across history, people have always decorated themselves in different ways, and that's always been a reflection of like the social norms and the beauty standards and what's seen as interesting or desirable or cool or uncool. And I just think that's so interesting. People are just interesting in general, and it's funny, it's kind of cute how people want to decorate themselves with shiny things. So I like decorating myself with shiny things. I love this necklace. And also, fashion is a whole lot more fun and interesting when the things that you wear have some kind of history or meaning for you. Like this necklace was my mother's. This necklace is older than me. I think she got it in like the 80s or 90s. And she always had it growing up, and I remember seeing it in her closet, in her little jewelry box, and I liked it because it had a heart. And I always thought it was cute, and I would steal it from her when I was in middle school and high school, and I would wear it. And eventually she just gave it to me because I wore it more than she did. So I get it now, how like wearing something that has a deeper meaning than its physical form, how that can make you feel a certain way, and I like it, so yeah. And like this ring was a gift from my boyfriend's mom. She gave it to me a couple years ago, and I really appreciated it, and I just felt really accepted by her, and that's when I first came to Japan, and I couldn't communicate well with her, but she gave me this ring. I just thought it was really nice, and I wear it almost every day. I feel kind of incomplete without it now. These have no meaning. These were cheap, so I care less about these. Same thing with this one. Yeah. I'm just excited about a lot of things right now. And I'm excited to talk about it, so I'll be back. I'll be back talking about stuff, and I hope you'll be here to listen. And sorry if I'm late or if I disappear sometimes. I hope you still forgive me and like me and all that. Sorry. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, and if you tell me what you want to see, I have no idea if I should, what kind of videos to make. Okay, well, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you if you took the time to watch and listen to me. Thank you so much.